Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. In this video, we are going to talk about a new session in workload management. It's about node and pod affinity. Now, firstly, I'll be creating a video for the node affinity, and then I'll be following up on the next video on the pod affinity. Now we have already seen the architecture for node and pod affinity over here. We are going to do the practical implementation for the same. Now, open with workload management 7.yaml. So this is the file which we are going to use for our node affinity. Now you can copy paste the item from the GitHub, which actually says the first file, the wm7.yaml file. Now that you have copy pasted it, let's try to understand what it says over here. Now here, the API version deployment is what we have known already. And the name of this deployment is my app deployment. Here we are going to create 3 replicas, and matching is going to be based on your node's pod's name, which is your my app. That's the same name as the deployment name as well. Now when you come down, you can actually see the specification in terms of we are specifying affinity over here. So what we are defining as affinity is that we are assigning node affinity. In terms of pod affinity, you will be specifying pod affinity over there to specify it as the pod's affinity. As of the node's affinity, you have to either give either of these 2 commands: required during schedule, ignore during execution, or preferred during schedule, ignore during execution. Now, why we give preferred, we will talk about that on a different video, but this video focuses on required parameter. Now, what it is going to do is like it's going to use this affinity only when it is scheduling and not while it is executing. So that is something you should understand. Now, the next one is the node selector term. So what are the terms for node selector? And you can see that you're going to match the expression. What expression you're going to match? You're going to look for GPU in true. So which means that you need to have GPU value for the node and it should be true. This is what you're looking for in that particular node for you to make this particular deployment work. When you have that particular parameter on a node as part of a label, then only this particular deployment will be successful. Now, if you remember, we have also already created labels for our nodes which we have. So now if I save and quit this file, you can see that kube control, get nodes, --- show labels. Now you can see that already I've given GPU is true for this worker node 2 and GPU equal to false for the worker node 1. So now all I have to do is like execute this file. Kube control apply -f worker manager 7.yaml file, and you can see that I have got my 3 pods created on the work node 2 only, because that is the node which has the GPU equal to true. Right now, this is how you need to create it focused on the pod affinity. Thank you again for watching this video. On the next video, we will talk about, this is how you need to create a video. This is how you need to create based on the node affinity. In the next video, we'll talk about the pod affinity. Sorry, I got confused about that. I'll see you on the next video with the pod affinity.